What is going on in the land of wrestling fandom? Just another wrestling podcast. Not that there's 30 million of them out there. You know, I know we did talk about this last week. Were you okay with that tagline, or were you thinking of something else?
It's fine with me. It works.
Yeah? All right. J Money alongside. Last week I said he was the Lady Wolf Killer. This week, he's the Lady Moon Killer himself.
If you don't cut that crap out.
I was on a roll, man. Darn it.
Don't.
You accepted the Lady Wolf Killer
worked.
last
that
week.
That was a different thing.
Now I said
this
Lady.
Is going a little too far.
I said Lady Moon Killer. Okay, you swoon the Lady Moons. Okay.
That absolutely makes no. You're losing your touch, man. That absolutely makes no sense. You're talking about me being one note. Now look who's being one note.
One note. I've been coming up with different introductions. What have you been doing? Whining and complaining about it?
Around the same thing, and I'm not complaining. It's not complaining if it's true. You're basically losing your touch, J Money.
How am I losing my touch? I come up with new material. All you
yeah,
do
but
is
they're
just
the
whine
same
and complain
thing.
about it.
You talked about you done the moon thing before. You done the lady thing before. You already done that, and then you talk about Wolfmatch or whatever it is .com or Wolf Grinder or whatever you were saying.
Wolf Grinder. Is there?
Forget that last one. Don't read into that.
Is there something you're not telling me here, buddy?
Don't read into that, people.
Is there something you're not telling me?
Don't read in that, and don't pay attention to this fool right here. Move
sure.
on with the podcast.
All right, got a lot to get to today. We will preview Hell in a Cell. Take a look at the Mae Young Classic. And then we'll get into a countdown that I'm pretty sure that we probably want to talk a lot about.
Okay.
So why don't we start with some headlines? Chris Jericho stated to SiriusXM's Busted Open radio show that he's having more fun outside of WWE. As you may know, he is the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. He made a special appearance at All In, dressed up as Pentagon. He's also got his own cruise coming out at the end of October. So, do you believe him?
Of course. Look at Cody.
Yeah.
What happened to Cody once he left WWE? What happened to him?
He joined the Bullet Club.
What after that? What did he do?
He had a lot of matches.
He had opportunities he never got in WWE. He was a world champion. He was the ROH world champion.
Now he's the NWA world heavyweight champion.
Yes. I mean, like, the fact is, you can only, when you think about it, and can I talk about this a little bit?
Rant on all you want.
You can only go so far in WWE.
Yeah.
In some cases, they put you in a box, like they kind of was doing with Neville and Austin Aries.
Yeah.
You're not gonna go far. And what happened to Cody in WWE? He was okay, but at some point, what happened to him?
He got turned into Stardust. He
basically got told him to Goldust his brother and got stuck in that. He was that for who knows how long? How long did he have that gimmick? How long was he in that gimmick?
For a while, but then he just.
And I didn't see him getting out of it. I don't think WWE was going to get him out of it.
Even though the fans were chanting Cody, Cody, Cody.
Yeah, WWE don't listen to the fans. We already learned that.
Yeah.
But Cody he's having the best time of his life. He's having matches. He's at the top of his game.
Yeah.
He's doing excellent. All In, that was all him in the Young Bucks.
Yep.
Cody's doing things. He's doing what his dad kind of did. His dad was a promoter, but he promoted his own show.
Yeah.
So he's just following his father's footsteps in a way, and he can only do that away from WWE. Mm-hmm. So I think it done wonders for Cody. So, and Chris Jericho, he was already in Japan once before back in the day.
Yeah.
And I actually remember, and I think I told you, there was a match I seen of him and Chris Benoit back in the day. And I didn't know they could do this until I heard New Japan. He told Chris Benoit, "Come on, mother effer."
Yeah.
On there, have you seen Jericho on New Japan? He has said some F words.
Oh yeah,
that is the Jericho I like to see. That edgy, because we're getting that fun Jericho. It's like the Jericho of the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
the Jericho of the Ruthless Aggression era, minus the little he can just say a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Jericho is having the time of his life. I mean, like he's having a lot of fun. It looks like he's having fun. But I'll pose you this question. Do you think this might, seeing how successful Cody is and how Jericho and how much fun Jericho's having, do you think this might make other wrestlers that's been in the WWE for a while, for a long time, think, hey, you know what? Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can go out there and have that kind of success or have that kind of fun.
Well, I think it depends on on their status in WWE. You know where they are on the card, where they are on the roster. But I think you have some other wrestlers out there in WWE who could potentially say, look at Cody, look at Chris Jericho.
And Jack Swagger, we're forgetting about him. He's kind of doing okay on Lucha Underground to a degree.
He kind of started off a little slow, And now he's starting to pick it back up. He's in Lucha Underground now. So
yeah, that's gonna help him. That's gonna help build him up.
yeah. So yes. So I think Jericho's having a lot more fun. He's traveling a lot more. He's got his own cruise line now. So.
And it's just an example. Can only be a blueprint or example for other wrestlers to follow. I mean, like, I'm not opposed to them leaving. Because if you're not doing anything in WWE, the way the company operates and the way their rules and what all the stuff they do in their storyline, as convoluted as they are, and how WWE will screw up their own storylines, and we've seen stuff be...
we've seen that before.
We've seen things like people have storylines and they suddenly get dropped.
Yeah.
So... it can be frustrating. I can understand being in a company like that and dealing with that all the time. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
The start and stop pushes. Mm-hmm. You're guaranteed on the independents to get some type of push. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. All right. As we know, the SmackDown's 1,000th episode is only 1 month away.
Yes, it is.
And
so,
do you know where it's going to be at?
Nope.
Washington, D.C. And who's from Washington, D.C.?
Donald Trump.
Batista.
Oh.
He was upset that...
when I said Donald Trump, he just living there. He's just not from there.
Yeah. Well...
sorry, folks.
As you know, Batista was a little salty because he was not invited. Well, he hasn't been invited to SmackDown's 1,000th episode yet. Do you think he will get the invite?
I don't know. The way WWE...
depending on... Well, I think it all had to do with how he left WWE back in 2014.
Well, they didn't do anything with him too much.
He
just happened to be but I understand. But I remember what you said, that whole Daniel Bryan thing at the time.
Yeah, that's what I say. He came in at the wrong time because he did win the Rumble. He was supposed to win the championship at WrestleMania 30, but then that got put on the back burner because the fans didn't want that. They wanted Daniel Bryan. So.
But now this might be a little better for him.
Yeah. Dwayne the Rock Johnson's daughter is starting to begin training at the Performance Center. I am excited about this. I think this can do wonders, for the Rock's family, including the Anoa'i family, because you have a lot of them in WWE as well. And now, have you seen the trailer? Go ahead.
Is The Rock supposed to be on that episode of SmackDown? Because you remember that first episode, him and Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
He was supposed to. I think he was supposed to be on it, but they haven't announced if it's going to be a via satellite role or if he's actually going to show up.
He might actually show up. You got to have him show up live. And Shawn Michaels might be on there because, remember, he was in that match with him and Triple H as a special guest referee.
Yeah.
And we might see Triple H. Probably will see him.
Yeah, probably. Okay, now have you
seen... and Undertaker.
Yeah. Now, as you know, WWE 2K19, the video game, is coming out soon. Tell me you have seen the trailer for that.
I don't think so.
They have a teaser for the Ultimate Deletion match. If you remember, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, it's in the beginning. They tease the Ultimate Deletion match with Bray Wyatt standing over a body, and then maybe about a few seconds later, a zombie Triple H comes walking in.
I did not see that.
You have to see the trailer. So I think they're teasing the Ultimate Deletion match in this game. This is going to be, I think it's going to be very interesting how they're going to play this, or how they're going to incorporate this in the video game.
The Ultimate Deletion was okay, but I still like the TNA version.
Yeah,
it had more going into it.
Well, plus also too, I think the TNA version was better because you think about it,
it was Matt more or less having more hands on.
TNA wasn't live. WWE is live. So when you have audience members at home, and people who actually paid to go to Monday Night Raw, and they're watching this on the big screen, you tend to get a little restless. That's what happened at Payback with the House of Horrors match.
Yeah, that's why WWE, with those kind of matches, I don't know what they're gonna do with them.
Yeah. All right, and there was a photo on Twitter that was leaked out of the Evolution card. Because
I heard
because
that.
Evolution is on October 28th.
I need to ask you, when is this that Australian Supercard? It's Super Showdown or whatever it's called?
I think it's next month.
Oh,
so
what time next month?
I'm not sure. I'll have to look that one up. But yeah, so they have is a leaked card of matches. Do you want to go through them, or do you just want to do a few of them? Okay, so now as you know, NXT UK.
Let's go through a few of them. We'll be here all day.
We'll go through a few of them, yeah.
We'll be here all day.
Okay, so at the beginning, as you know, NXT UK will be starting up soon. They have a fatal 4-way.
Because we can go through the whole card after when we review when we actually do a prediction of it.
Yeah. So well, again, this is a leaked card. This hasn't been made official yet. Rhea Ripley versus Ginny versus Killer Kelly versus Dakota Kai for the NXT UK Women's Championship. The Riot Squad versus Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Ivory. There will be the Mae Young Classic 2018 finals.
That's a given.
We will not discuss who is. Well, since I know who it is, but I won't spoil it for you. Asuka versus Ember Moon. You know, go ahead.
Do we really want that?
I mean,
it's a good match, but
they tore it up in NXT.
We had it 3 different times.
Yeah, well, I think this is a way to put Asuka back on the map because she's kind of fizzled out a bit.
Oh yeah, we're talking about what on. We'll get to SmackDown. Yeah. What happened there? That didn't help.
Now the next 3 matches are going to be present versus past, Naomi versus Melina.
Oh.
Possibly could.
John Morrison's Melina?
Yeah, John Morrison's Melina. Well, even though they aren't technically.
Yeah, I know. I just remember. We just remember everybody. Anybody who's a WWE fan, a wrestling fan in general, would know that those two were tied together at one point.
Yeah. And the next 2 we already saw coming: Mickie James versus Lita.
Have they ever wrestled back in the day?
I don't think they. I don't think they.
I don't think I ever recall.
Yeah, I don't recall that.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and we all saw this one coming: Alexa Bliss versus Trish Stratus.
We kind of thought that would have been Sasha Banks in that role, but I would have been interested to see that. But okay.
Now we have talked about this match in the past before. Nikki Bella versus Ronda Rousey is rumored to be the main event.
Hell no.
You don't want to see that?
No.
Well, who would you like to see Ronda Rousey face?
I don't know. Not Nikki Bella. I mean, Nikki's okay, but I just don't want to see it.
Yeah. Now we will get to this in the countdown, but there is a plan to have a women's tag team championship.
That's been talked about before. So
but now here were some of the here were some of the people that were involved in this. Alicia Fox and Kelly Kelly, the Iconics, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Beth Phoenix, and Natalya.
Neither one of those are going to get that. Yep. It's only going to be the younger people. They're not going to put the belt on people that are probably not going to stay.
Yeah.
We already know that.
All right, those are the headlines. Let's kick off into Monday Night Raw, and we will preview Hell in a Cell, which is this Sunday.
All right.
We kicked off Monday Night Raw with the Shield attacking pretty much the heel locker room, which included Ziggler, Strowman, and McIntyre.
And using axe handles to do it.
Yep. Now, later on, the Shield got escorted out of the building.
Yeah.
Yep. So then after that happened, Nikki Bella defeated Ruby Riott. Pretty decent match. Wasn't horrible.
I'm gonna ask this now. So Brie is involved in 2 programs. This look like they're gonna do. She's on one on Raw and one on SmackDown.
Yeah.
The one with her husband on SmackDown against the Miz and Maurice, and this one with the Riot Squad. It seems like they're trying to build something between them and the Riot Squad.
Possibly.
So.
Well, because if you remember on the Bella's YouTube channel, when they walked into their locker room, the Riot Squad pretty much destroyed
That's
it.
what my indicator that this is going to be a feud.
It's going to be something. Then, a very heartfelt moment. The Big Show introduced the Connor's Cure Superstars of Tomorrow. Very, very heartwarming moment there.
It gets you in the feels.
It will. The AOP with their go ahead.
Just break out that money, people. Just give your whole wallet away.
There you go.
Just give them your check.
AOP with their new manager Drake Maverick defeated 2.
At least he's not wearing that
skinny locals.
2 skinny local. No, 2 pieces of meat.
There you go.
God rest their souls. Now Drake Maverick. Yeah. He defined he didn't wear that, but should he just wear the suit and not just wear the tactical gear?
Who knows?
The suit he looks a little bit more businesslike. He looked like a Paul Ellering if he did that.
Yeah. Triple H then came out to address the Undertaker, which Undertaker will appear on Monday Night Raw.
Will they stop pussyfooting around it and just have them both on this show at the same time and already?
Well, I think they're teasing back and forth, and then they'll probably do it eventually.
Yeah, because they've done this crap before in the past.
The B team cashed in their mandatory rematch and lost to Ziggler and McIntyre.
Of course, I mean, like they had a nice
titles.
run. I was happy. At least they got their opportunity. Now they can go back. I hate to say this, but they're just gonna go back into obscurity again, which is a shame.
Yeah.
They're a good comedy act. They work well, but Vince doesn't see nothing else other in them except that.
Now, after that match, Ambrose and Rollins returned and attacked both of them.
Yeah.
And if you did not see that backstage, they said the Shield was gone because they had their individual gear on.
Yes.
Which was funny.
I know. They say technically they're not here because we're individual superstars. We're not as the Shield. They're just semantics. Like I'm surprised Baron Corbin even knew what a word like that was.
Yeah, they were going back and forth with Baron Corbin. Now they did call in
a sheriff
because Corbin falsified a police report. Well, thought so. So then Seth Rollins got him involved. And they now get a Raw Tag Team title match at Hell in a Cell, which we will probably discuss later on. Kevin Owens was supposed to have a match with Prince Pretty Tyler Breeze, but that didn't end up happening, and he attacked him. And then he revealed why he returned to WWE.
Because Baron Corbin, he has a clause in his contract that relieves him of all liability of anything he does.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that either Stephanie or Kurt, when he comes back, is going to have to address. Because in storyline, when you think about it, he can potentially injure your entire roster.
Yeah.
Because if he's allowed to do whatever he wants, he can bully referees, punch them, do things which you can't really do. Because the referees can... And they're not doing this, but this is just to think about what they can do. They can have referees sue the company because of what
Baron Corbin did.
Corbin did, so this can get him in trouble with Stephanie, and Stephanie doesn't want that. She's going to have to either address it because you can't let Owens go on doing that because he will potentially cause a lawsuit.
It is a good storyline.
It is,
I will say
and it also can, like you said, it can do something like bring Kurt Angle in and have Kurt address it, and Owens try to strike him and start a feud with them.
Yep. The weird tag team of Bobby Roode and Chad Gable defeated the Ascension.
That's not going to last long.
This was just a cringy match to watch.
It's not going to last long. I can already see that they're going to turn. This is the way to turn Bobby heel.
Yeah.
You want to know why?
Well, I would say Chad Gable's not the guy you want to turn heel on.
Not Chad Gable. I mean Bobby Roode.
Well, I know, but again,
I know
Bobby. I mean, turning on Chad Gable's not going to get you that good heel.
Yeah, but I think they have no other options. They figure, look, hey, we got to turn this guy heel. Just have him beat up Chad Gable and stuff.
Ronda Rousey in her first tag team match with Natalya defeated Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. But then Alexa Bliss got in one last shot.
What happened?
Wait, you said all three. There was four of them.
Oh.
You left one out.
Who did I left out again?
Never mind.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Then
Universe is gonna get me.
Mick Foley made a surprise appearance. It was the 20th. Was it the 30th or the 20th?
I can't think of it.
It was one of those 10th anniversaries of Mick Foley's Hell in a Cell match with The Undertaker.
And I love how Michael Cole said, folks, what you're about to see is graphic.
Yeah.
It's been graphic since this thing happened. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They've seen worse.
Yeah.
Well, not this crowd.
And Foley named himself the special guest referee for the Hell in a Cell Universal title match. So that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to play out. Finn Balor defeated Elias. And then Roman Reigns attacked Braun Strowman to end the show.
Yep.
Again, not a very good Raw, but I mean, it was lackluster. It did have some good moments in there, but other than that, it was just kind of
the women are always a good point of the shows. Let's just not lie there. And especially when you got Ronda with her storyline.
Give me a good reason why. Because I see the look in your eyes.
Their matches. I mean, especially with Ronda.
Yeah.
Ronda's a beast.
Oh, yeah.
We're just not going to lie. Ronda is taken to this thing.
Of course, she's the baddest woman on the planet.
And her acting is spot on when she can, like, wrestlers, they're in their elements when they're They can't act
she's
off
improving a lot.
They can
She's
act.
improving.
I say this: wrestlers have a hard time acting in movies, probably. But when you put them out there and let them act without too much direction in the ring,
Yeah.
they can do it. Ronda's already like that when she was fighting in the MMA.
Yeah.
She can turn it on.
Yeah.
She can be smiling for a second.
Well, also too, I
turn
think
it on
she's
and change
really
that look.
she's really improving.
Exactly.
Because
and that's one thing I like.
when she first started out, it was kind of awkward to watch.
But now,
but again, as the days go on, she's picking it up. She's improving.
More.
I really like the direction that they're going with her.
Yeah, and who better to be her foil is Alexa Bliss.
Exactly.
Alexis she's the heel that you want to hate, the heel you want to beat up, and Ronda's the person to do it.
Yep. All right, let's go to SmackDown Live. We kicked off the night with Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura. That ended in
Nakamura,
DQ.
Shinsuke.
And then Hardy and Orton brawled. Pretty good brawl. Is it just me, or is Randy Orton looking very awkward now? Because I swear he stood. I mean, he stared at Jeff Hardy for like a minute, and then he took the chair shot, which was like, really, Randy?
I think so. I don't know if that was a botch. He might not have been paying attention too well.
How
often do those guys actually be paying attention as closely as they should?
I think Randy's smoking weed again. So
don't tell Vince.
What? He already knows.
That's a messed up thing that they let him get away with it, but nobody else can do that crap.
Yeah.
They got to address that at some point in time.
AJ Styles addressed Samoa Joe. Very good, Mike Ward.
This is good.
This is good.
I'm loving this.
I am very surprised this one's not Hell in a Cell.
It should. The way it's so personal that you have to make it a Hell in a Cell.
Charlotte Flair defeated Sonya Deville, which Becky Lynch attacked her in disguise.
I like it.
I like this new direction.
Is it me? Are they getting away from saying that Becky turned on Charlotte? Are they kind of like the announcers? Or they kind of seem like they're kind of slightly getting away from saying that stuff and framing this like Becky is a heel?
I think so, but again, I think it's setting up for something big.
Yeah, just not make her a heel. But I think I haven't heard them talk about it as much because they know the fans didn't like it. You can't basically lie like that, like they did. Like we said, they pretty much lied to the fans and had Becky out there lying like they wasn't on her side when they clearly were cheering for her. So they're framing her like I hope that they're doing this like they're framing her as a female Austin, which is good because Becky seems like she can do it.
Oh yeah. Rusev Day will be going to Hell in a Cell. They defeated the Bar. They're gonna get a SmackDown Tag Team Title match against
I thought you about to say Rusev Day is going to hell. I'm like, what? What did they do?
Well, the pay-per-view is called Hell in a Cell, so.
Take the cell part out and just leave it hell.
Andrade Cien Almas defeated R-Truth.
Yeah.
And in the main event,
they're doing a little bit more with him since he's tagged up with Carmella for the Mixed Match Challenge. It looks like they're going to be using him a little bit more on TV.
I think those two are very entertaining together. Yeah. So I will say that.
Oh, and speaking of Andrade, let's talk about his. I watched something last night on my phone on YouTube, and it was about Selena Vega. Mm-hmm. She was talking to Renee Young about her father who had died during 9/11.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting story to hear. And I liked it, but that daggone shaky cam. Mm-hmm. That camera was shaking. When they zoom out, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when they zoom in on her, it's shaking. I'm like, who is doing the camera work?
Well, because, I mean, me, especially in my job, that's kind of cringeworthy.
I don't.
It's like,
I mean,
have
like,
you heard of a stabilizer?
We're in the business. We're in the business of these kind of things. So.
Or have you heard of tripods?
Well, I don't know. We've seen this kind of crap a little bit in WWE on Raw sometimes. Mm-hmm. But the story was interesting. She said that as a little girl, her father, she had a chance to talk to him on the phone because her mom was on the phone with him at the time. Mm-hmm. And I guess, like she said, their parents weren't married anymore at that point. But their mom and her dad stayed friends, and they were on the phone at that time. And she said she had the chance to talk to him, but she never did.
Yeah.
And I guess she wishes that she kind of had done it. Wished she had talked to him at that time.
Yeah.
But she said her dad was an amateur wrestler, and he always had like wrestling. That's what got her into it. And her dad's favorite wrestler was The Rock. And at one time when she met him, she talked about her dad, I guess, to him, and she's like, he knows my dad's name.
Yeah.
And and the one thing about it, she's doing this, becoming a wrestler for her father to honor him.
Yeah.
And I thought that is amazing. That is a great story.
It actually is.
knowing I don't have my mom anymore and stuff, and you don't have your dad and things.
Yeah.
So we kind of can sympathize,
relate
to what she was going through. Even though we just lost our parents when we were a little older, she had spent most of her life without her father at that point. But it was such a powerful story, and it made her look really good outside of her persona.
Yeah.
It only makes her look good outside of persona, but it makes her look. And these are the kind of things I like when WWE does them. They make the wrestlers look human. We don't get to see this too often from them.
Oh yeah,
we always see them in their characters or something.
Yeah.
We don't see these kind of people outside of their personas. But it's nice to see, hey, these guys are human too. They can talk about things that makes them vulnerable, like Alexa talking about her eating disorder, or things. And it's not just stuff that you see them talking backstage segments or stuff that WWE's recorded. That stuff's still kind of scripted. Yeah. Like the Amber Moon stuff. She talking about her parents laughed in her face when she said she wanted to become a pro wrestler. That stuff's all written in there and things. Yeah. This was real. This was her talking, saying this stuff from her own mouth, from her heart. Yeah. And I just like that when they do things like that, because it does make the wrestlers look more human.
Yeah. Well, then to carry off of that, that's why I think Xavier Woods' up down down channel has a lot to do with that too. Because they play video games and he interviews them, and you also get to see a different side to these wrestlers, because it's like you think the Miz is the most egotistical, jackass out there.
Seen it so much,
but when you see him do this kind of stuff and how he interacts with fans, it makes him look like a very cool guy to be around.
And to some degree, the reality shows kind of do that too.
Yeah,
Total Divas, that's a whole nother story, because Total Divas.
Yeah, true.
But the Miz show makes him look even more likable.
Yeah.
Him and Maurice both. They're just like regular people. I'm hard pressed to say I know a script. That's partially them. That's not all scripted.
Yeah, because I will admit, I was a little skeptical about this show, because I just thought it was just a ripoff of Total Bellas. But then I watched it, and it's just like, you know what? The Miz is actually human.
Yeah, and
because I mean, you do see it a lot, in those on those videos of WWE on YouTube, when he's interacting with fans and all that, how he can't win them over, and he just laughs at it, because it's a very cool thing, because it's like my persona is a jackass, but in reality,
this is how I am in real life.
This is how I am in real life.
It's nice.
It's funny to watch him react to that.
Yeah, and that makes me like the Miz a little more.
Yeah.
I don't like his character, but I like the person, Mike Mizanin.
Yeah. But again, that's what makes him good at his job.
And I just like, and while we're talking about it, I loved how they had Miz's parents on there, but mostly Maurice's mom.
Yeah.
She was the most funniest part of that show.
Yeah.
Because how she interacts with Mike.
Oh, it's
like,
so
there was
funny.
an episode where they were getting ready to move to Austin, Texas. And they forgot her. She was left outside. She was outside using the restroom. And they forgot her. They had to go back and pick her up. And she scared the crap out of the Miz, because he thought something was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is what I like. It makes these guys... We're never going to get that of the McMahons. We're never going to see... If we ever see Vince that open with people, I'd be shocked.
Total McMahons.
Hey, I had an idea for a show. Might be able to pitch that.
Yeah, true.
But I like... But we get that a little bit with Stephanie. She's the only McMahon we see that kind of is that more open a little bit. We kind of see that more side of her than anybody else.
Yeah.
And I think
we see it a lot on Total Divas too. So.
And it wouldn't be too far fetched or out of the realm of possibilities of her, impossibility for her to actually maybe do a reality show one day. Yeah. Maybe.
Well, yeah, because I mean, on Total Divas, we've seen her, interact with.
Yes.
With Natalia, with Nikki Brie, with all the women's locker room.
And
then you even saw it when Stephanie did her own fitness video and Naomi was in it. Yeah. And how they were interacting with each other.
So she interacts with a lot of these girls. Yeah. She's not just seeing them in one and done.
She's trying to make it a comfortable environment for them. Just say, hey, yes, I am a woman of power. Yes, I am in control of your contracts. Yes, I do sign your checks. But I don't want you to look at me like that. Look at me as someone who you can come up to, talk to about, how, if you're frustrated with your spot.
I have heard Val Venus once talk about how him and Stephanie had a good relationship because she was in charge of creative at the time, and he could go to her about anything. So
Yeah.
Stephanie's probably she can work with you. Stephanie is not probably like her father. I don't think she'll just like say no, we're just going this direction. She'll go with you. That's really what a boss is supposed to do. You're supposed to take ideas because these guys they know their characters better than anyone.
Yeah.
So you take their ideas and mix them with your own, you might get something. But currently, it's just whatever Vince says.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know how Triple H works in NXT. I don't know if he's taking suggestions from the wrestlers when they come to him. I'm pretty sure he is. But NXT's doing well. 205 Live's doing well.
Yep.
That's the way that you should run a company.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then the main event for SmackDown Live, it was kind of just disappointing. Speaking of Miz and the Bellas.
Oh yeah, that wasn't necessary. That could have been the first thing that they showed.
Yeah.
That could have been the first step.
But I mean, I do get it why they would put it on last.
I know,
because Maurice hadn't been in a match on SmackDown in over 2, 3, 5 years or so. So SmackDown pretty good, bad main event.
Yeah.
And then as we mentioned, 205 Live, that's getting a little better.
Yeah, I mean, like it just took someone new to take the reins and do something with it. Because the problem is, you needed them storylines, but it's more or less about the wrestling.
Yeah, it is.
And there's fast paced in it. When the Lucha Underground has never been as good. I mean, like these guys are on every week.
You hardly see like microphone work there.
That's the thing, because you hardly see it in NXT.
Yeah.
Because they're operating like independent shows. Because you barely see. Like, you remember we had our local wrestling promotion down here.
IZW.
They hardly had mic work.
Yeah.
They more or less, they had some, but it might have been one or two segments. But the rest was just wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's kind of good right here. But I do understand they need to build these guys' mic work up.
Yeah.
But for right now, let them just do what they got to do. Let them go out there, have their fun, and do their thing, and win this crowd over.
There you go.
Because I want to say this has helped Lindsay Dorado and Grand Metalik, because remember when they first came in, we barely saw them on 205 Live. We're seeing them every week.
Oh, yeah.
And it is great.
Yep. Buddy Murphy defeated Grand Metalik to open up. Mustafa Ali defeated
that was
Thompson.
A good match.
Yeah, it was. Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher defeated Cedric Alexander and Tasawa, which earned Drew Gulak a title match.
Yep.
Whenever that's going to be. Then we go to NXT. Oni Lorcan returned.
Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch.
Oni Lorcan returned from injury. They defeated Cesar Bonani and Adrian Jaoud. I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, Jaoud.
NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa finally resurfaced.
And with new theme music.
He denied attacking Aleister Black, who is currently out with a groin injury, if I am correct.
That's what you say.
Shayna Baszler defeated Violet Payne. And Shayna Baszler doing what she does best, be violent after the match.
Violent and destructive.
Lars Sullivan defeated Raul Mendoza. Nikki Cross and Bianca...
When is Raul going to win a match?
Who knows? Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair ended in a double countout.
That's going to lead to a feud. That's a feud starting.
That is going to be good.
Nikki is extra kind of crazy on there. She was just doing all...
She is... I would do that. She does it right.
Oh, yeah.
She is very entertaining. She's entertaining. Well, what I really liked was...
She's done the crazy girl thing better than AJ. I'm just not going to lie. AJ was crazy, but not that kind of crazy. Yeah. She's exaggerated crazy.
What I liked in the beginning of the match was when Nikki scared the living hell out of Bianca Belair, and she just started cracking up at her.
Yeah, and then she says, "Hi, Bianca."
Yeah, it was funny.
She can be in one of those psycho type of movies and just be the killer.
She actually could. Now we go to day 2 of the Mae Young Classic. It has been very good so far.
And Madison Rayne, Ashley Rayne was on this one.
Yep, she was. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Priscilla Kelly in an opening round match. Zeus defeated Ariel Moore.
And I didn't know that. I think I remember she was on that. Deonna Purrazzo is Deonna Purrazzo. I remember last year she was in it, but she said she was an alternate.
Yeah.
That she wasn't used. So that's if one of them gets injured, that they just use somebody else.
Yeah. Casey Cantarzaro defeated Reina Gonzalez.
And Casey Cantarzaro was an American Ninja Warrior. She was the first female warrior to win
American Ninja Warrior. Yeah.
And she's done it for 5 years.
Yeah. And in the main event, Mercedes Martinez defeated Ashley Rayne.
A.K.A. Madison
Rayne.
They acknowledged Josh on there.
Yeah.
But they didn't say Matthews. They just said her husband Josh and her daughter. They didn't say who, but people know who it is.
Yeah.
Batine's done the same thing. They had that, like I said, who knows how many episodes back, that segment with her in that segment where she was being stalked by Sue Young.
Yeah.
She, like, they had a picture of her and her husband, and it's a whiteout of Josh.
Yeah.
It's this whiteout. So they don't acknowledge. I don't know why, but I guess they just don't want to.
Yeah. All right, now we go.
I wish she won, though. I kind of figured she would have won, given her reputation, but
they
had to let Mercedes win.
I was gonna say I expected her to go kind of far in this tournament.
Yeah, not win the thing, but maybe go far. But
yeah,
I guess they wanted to put Mercedes over since Mercedes didn't win it, didn't go far last year. She went far, but didn't.
She went to the Final Four, but then she lost to Shayna Baszler.
I guess they wanted to use her again.
Yeah. Now we go to Impact. If you know, Moose turned heel.
Oh, are we gonna circle back around to Lucha Underground?
Well, I was to say we'll do Impact first, then we're doing Lucha.
All right. Okay.
So as we know, Moose turned heel. He
looking like $100 million, looking like some I don't know what to say about.
He aligned himself with the Impact World Champion Austin Aries and Killer Cross. They were interrupted by KM and Falaba. Falaba got a world title match in the main event.
I was shocked as hell to have that.
The new tag team of Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., who are known as the Lucha Brothers, they defeated Caleb Conley and Trevor Lee.
Yep.
Alicia Edwards defeated Katarina. LAX defeated the
Fraternity. Oh, can I talk about that segment with that match?
Yeah.
The funny part is when Grado and who his friend is, what's his friend's name again?
Oh, I don't remember.
That dude that's to be singing sometimes. He came out there and they distracted her with that music video.
Oh yeah.
And he says Access Dean. I'm like, I was busting out.
Oh, I was dying.
That was funny. That needs to be on a shirt. TNA needs to jump on that.
LAX, the new LAX, defeated the it's the new LAX, right?
The OGs.
Yeah.
They call it LAX. The other one's the OGs.
Okay. Yeah. LAX defeated the fraternity, which
oh my god!
If you saw what was it last week where they had that car accident with the kid?
It was after that was like before that. This was the summit between them and the basically crime bosses, telling them that they're gonna have a match, but they can't touch each other.
Brian Cage defeated Congo Kong. And in the main event, Austin Aries, no surprise, defeated Falaba to retain the Impact World Championship.
And broke KM's neck, pretty much.
Yep. Okay, now we go to Lucha Underground.
Yes.
So you can stop howling at me now.
Oh, hush.
Oh, whatever. El Dragon as
glorious shirt on. He got a glorious shirt on, folks. He's obsessed with Bobby Roode.
Hey, I'm glorious. I don't see you.
Don't take him for that. That's not true.
El Dragon Azteca Jr. defeated Ivelisse to retain the Gift of the Gods title, which that Gift of the Gods title can be cashed in for a Lucha Underground Championship match.
Yes.
King Cuerno and Mil Muertes ended in a double disqualification. Now those three will fight in a three-way match against Pentagon Dark for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Mm-hmm.
The Reptile Tribe of Daga, Jeremiah Snake, and Cobra Moon. They defeated Aerostar, Phoenix, and Drago.
And Phoenix is a little different.
Yep, he is.
Because, and you know how Lucha Underground works, they use supernatural elements. Phoenix was defeated by Mil Muertes a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Basically, I guess he might have killed him. I don't know. So he was put into a coffin. What Aerostar did is that he took, I guess, the stone that Mil Muertes had after he pushed Katrina off the roof and killed her, took it and used it to go back in time and use his energy to revive Phoenix. And he brought him back. So Phoenix is displaced from time, but he came back different.
Yeah.
I suspect, I don't know if they're going to go this route. They might have either have Katrina's soul implanted in him, or he's possessed by her or something.
Yeah.
That's the thing they would try to do. Or he just might have dark energy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is a wrestling show. It's just a show with wrestling, but it has supernatural elements in it. Jim Cornette hates this show, just by the way.
Yeah, really?
No, he doesn't like it. He's gone on record and on his own podcast saying he doesn't like Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
But you remember, Jim Cornette is of the old school way.
Yeah, he is.
We understand this show is this entertainment, and I just like that they're doing something different with wrestling.
Yeah.
We have seen everything in wrestling done to death.
Yeah.
This is a fresh take. I got no problem with them killing people every week.
Yeah. Then Marty the Moth Martinez, who does do a lot of stalking. He
I'm surprised he's not arrested yet.
Yeah, he will get a Gift of the Gods title shot
After dropping down some big bucks on the big boss.
Oh yeah,
I wish I had that kind of money.
So did I. Okay, so what do you say we preview the
He
Hell in a
just
Cell
bought
card?
himself a title. Wait, no, he couldn't.
Well, he could have bought the $1 million title. So, all right. Well, what do you say we
Why don't
preview
you
Hell in
buy
a
that
Cell?
title? What's
If
up? What's
only
up?
I could buy it.
You can get a replica. What's up?
No, I don't have a replica yet. So
You don't have that kind of money.
not yet. So all right, let's.
I know you have those titles. I know you have those little old replica titles. You ain't got the big gold belt. You don't got none of the original WWE titles or any others. I thought you were trying to expand your collection, J Money.
Well, let's see. I've got the Cena spinner belt. I got the one that The Rock introduced, and I have the current one. I've got the U.S. title, the Intercontinental title, the old tag team title. You know, before they split to the Raw and SmackDown one. And then I have the original World Heavyweight Championship, which was the WCW belt, but then it turned into the WWE World Heavyweight title belt.
Oh, okay.
All right, so what do you say we preview Hell in a Cell?
Let's go for it.
All right, kicking off on the kickoff match, the New Day versus Rusev Day for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. I would believe New Day will retain. Your thoughts?
Probably.
Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy in a Hell in a Cell match.
Jeff Hardy. This is Jeff Hardy's element, and he's going a little bit more darker with things.
Yeah. Ziggler and McIntyre will take on Ambrose and Rollins for the Raw Tag Team titles. I'll say Ziggler and McIntyre retain.
Yeah, they might get it.
Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella take on Miz and Maurice in a mixed tag team match. I'll say Daniel and Brie.
Yeah, because Miz cheated the last time, so they're gonna do some chicanery in this match, and I know what chicanery is, so be quiet.
I thought you were gonna say shenanigans at first.
Chicanery sounds a little cooler.
That sounds like a very fancy word. Did you look that up in your Wolf Thesaurus?
Be quiet. I know fancy words. I know some intellectual words. J Money.
Mm-hmm.
I have a brain. How about you?
No, you have a wolf brain. I have a brain. So
I have a brain, and it's a lot bigger than yours.
Mm-hmm. Charlotte will take on Becky Lynch for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Becky.
You rethink Becky?
Yeah, Becky. This could be a way they could have just set this whole thing up for Becky, maybe to give her that chance.
I'm gonna say Charlotte because again, I mean, Charlotte is a 7-time champion, so I don't know if they're trying to go down the road that because to make her like a 16-time women's champion. So I think Charlotte needs to hold on to that because you have to continue to build Becky's character like this.
All right.
Ronda Rousey will take on Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. I think this match will go a little bit longer than it did at SummerSlam, but I do think Ronda Rousey will retain. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe.
I think the idea is to have the title on her during Evolution because of who she is. She's a strong, independent woman and a good representation.
Again, she is there full time now.
Yeah, and she's a good representation.
She is rumored to hold on to it until WrestleMania.
All right, and that's the plan. I know the plan has possibly been to put her and Charlotte against each other at WrestleMania, so that might be what they're trying to do.
AJ Styles will take on Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship. I'm going to say Samoa Joe.
Yeah, he's going to get this.
Yep. And then in the main event, Roman Reigns will take on Braun Strowman for the Universal title inside Hell in a Cell. Mick Foley, the guest referee.
Roman's gonna get it, because they want that. They put that belt on Roman. They want to have him hold on to it for a while.
So you're gonna have Braun Strowman as the 4th person ever to cash in Money in the Bank and lose, because the previous 3, John Cena, Damian Sandow, Baron Corbin. So the 4th one will be Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
All right. What do you say we get into this week's countdown?
Take it away.
This week's countdown is brought to you by thesportster.com. Every article you can think of, MMA, sports, you name it, thesportster.com. Now we did talk about, some while back ago about how we can't wait for Triple H to start taking over Raw. Oh no, to take over Raw, SmackDown, pretty much all of WWE because of what he's doing with NXT and all the success that he's been having. So this is 11 rumored changes that Triple H wants to make once he's in charge, and 9 that will stay the same. Now we can agree or disagree on this. Number 1, the first change is a new producing team behind the scenes. Because again, Jeremy Borash and James Long, they are in NXT doing a lot of success. Do you think once he starts taking over all that, do you think he'll get rid of those producers and kind of freshen it up a bit?
I think he might keep maybe a couple of them around if he's real cool with them and likes them and likes their work. But yeah, he might change it up. He might keep a little bit of the old guard, but get rid of the rest and just bring in Borash and stuff.
Well, because the main reason I think they brought in Jeremy Borash was because of Matt Hardy's character too.
Yeah.
Because he had a helping hand in his character change and that ultimate deletion.
Yep. He didn't have. Did he do anything with it this time, or he just had?
I don't think he did. I'm not sure. Number 2 that will stay. Different entrance designs. Now, if you know back during the Attitude Era, all the pay-per-views they had different set designs. Because you look at you look at WrestleMania every year, they have a different set design entrance way. Now it's pretty much stayed the same throughout all of the pay-per-views. That could be because of costs.
That is what it is.
They're keeping the standards crisp, and they're catering to high definition because that's none of that stuff comes cheap. Yeah. So, I mean, I would like to see them switch up the entrances, especially on the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So, number 3 that will change, cross-promotion matchups. I know we've talked about this one for a while. Now, Jericho originally pitched the idea because he is the IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
Because Triple H is more in tune to that stuff.
Yeah.
He sees how it works for TNA, how it works for New Japan and Ring of Honor, because they've done it for years now. It's a good idea. And they do have those relationships for Progress, and I forget the other promotion.
It's ICW.
ICW. So they could do that. They haven't done it yet.
Yeah. Now, because Jericho originally pitched the idea to face Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, both Intercontinental Champions. Because Hunter isn't afraid to work with other promotions. Vince McMahon tends to stick to his guys. So, like Triple H, for example, Adam Cole and Pete Dunne have defended their championships outside of WWE.
Yes.
Number 4 that'll stay, the Hollywood writers. Now, I know Vince gets a lot of heat for some of the writers that he hires, but Triple H could dispose of all of that. I mean, I think he will change some of the writers backstage.
The writers, they're Hollywood writers. They're not wrestling writers.
Yeah.
Because what works is people who knows what they're doing in the business.
Yeah.
That are in the business. The Hollywood writers, soap opera writers, they change up. They do so much crap. They don't know what they're doing, and half the time they change writers apparently in the company like a lot of different times.
Yeah.
Roberto Del Rio has mentioned that before.
Yeah.
In a shoot interview, they kind of change writers in the company, so that's why storylines were messed up the way that they are.
Yeah.
You got to have consistency when you're doing that.
Yeah. All right. Number 5, what'll change? Less talk, less scripts, and more action. Compare WWE Raw and SmackDown to NXT. NXT's, if someone in NXT is doing a promo, it's short and it's basically right to the point. If you look at Raw and SmackDown, pretty much a fifth of their opening segment lasts almost like fifth of the show.
It does, and it's
and it kind of drags on.
It does,
because look at last week. When you had Ziggler, Strowman, McIntyre, and all those heels around the ring, that took up almost a fifth of the show.
And that's by design. They don't got nothing else. They want to burn up time.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's also in the independents. They don't take that long. I don't think TNA takes that long with promos.
No.
And neither does Ring of Honor if they have them.
Well, plus also too, if you think about it,
independent shows in general probably doesn't do that.
Well, now with the format at Impact, now they show almost Impact wrestlers on other promotions as well. In their matches, which I think is pretty cool.
It also showcases. Their working relationship with other promotions, and then the other wrestlers from other promotions. Yeah. It gets them noticed.
Number 6 will stay the 1 hour NXT program. There have been rumors about expanding it. I think one hour is good because
1 hour is good enough.
Because now, since now WWE and Fox have worked out a deal now, because SmackDown will be moving to Fox soon. There has a talk about NXT potentially moving over to Fox Sports 1. So Hunter says he has no plans to change to 2 hours. I think 1 hour for NXT is good enough. Number 7 would change, and I know we've talked about this one a lot too. Having a shorter Monday Night Raw, maybe from 3 to back to what it originally was, 2 hours.
Yeah, that worked. The only reason that was done that way is because Vince got money from USA Network to expand it, and they can't do nothing with that third hour. They never could. Even you have Big Show and Kane saying that 3 hours is too damn long.
Yeah, well, because Triple H did admit that a 3-hour Raw is kind of tough to watch, but it's also brutal to book behind the scenes.
Oh yeah.
But again, at the same time, 3 hours, is when you're giving other wrestlers, some time to shine. But as we mentioned earlier, it gets kind of tough when a fifth to a third of that time is just promos.
Yeah, and then they don't do nothing with the wrestlers anyway.
Yeah.
They'll just have them out there, throw them out there, and won't really do nothing. So you miss your opportunity.
Number 8 what'll probably stay, global expansion. Because, we've had shows in Saudi Arabia, Shanghai.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's a Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia. So they're entering other markets for the very first time. We've had shows in India. So
yes.
Number 9 will probably change. We talked about this at the beginning of the program. The women's tag team titles. Even though we're still waiting on them, the women's division continues to expand. Yeah. Because we've seen it so many times. We saw the first women's Royal Rumble match. We saw the first women's Elimination Chamber match.
The first women's Hell in a Cell match.
The first women's Steel Cage match. So we've seen a lot of these first times. Now we're getting Evolution, the first all-female pay-per-view. Number 10 will probably change. More performance centers, not only around the country, but in the world. Because Triple H has been recruiting globally now because the indie scenes was on a decline. So, but now more indie promotions are starting to build themselves up. They have some momentum. Now they have been interested in putting performance centers in the United Kingdom, India, Dubai,
possibly Japan. Probably.
Yeah, possibly Japan,
because that's where most of the Japanese talent is. Most of the people there.
Yeah. Number 11, what'll probably stay, the mainstream attention that WWE gets from other markets, because popular stars and actors have come out of WWE. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, Roman Reigns now. So, but again, they are building relationships with other networks as well. The big one is ESPN, and with all the work that the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey have created, because Ronda Rousey was a big MMA star, turn into actress too. She has been in a lot of movies, Entourage, the Expendables, Fast and the Furious. Mm-hmm. And also with the Bella Twins and everything they have created.
Their reality show.
Yeah, they're both two of their reality shows. They have their own wine business. They have their clothing line. Number 12, what'll probably change, longer matches. Because compare SummerSlam to NXT TakeOver. SummerSlam had 4 main card matches that were under 7 minutes long. Now the shortest match in NXT TakeOver was 17 minutes, and that was the Women's Championship match. Because the main event, Lesnar Reigns, only went 6 minutes. You look at Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano 3, that was 34 minutes long.
Yeah.
And people were very entertained by these matches. Number 13, what'll probably stay, the abundance of WWE programming per week. Now, everybody laughed at Vince for starting the WWE Network, because not only you could watch other pay-per-views and other programming, previous Raw, SmackDowns, NXTs, and all that, because he was saying, plus you can also watch current pay-per-views live. Yeah. But again, he saw the decline of pay-per-view buying. So he was one step ahead of that.
Oh yeah.
Now, and also too, NXT is set to increase the number of takeovers for next year.
Oh yeah.
Which I am really excited about.
That's the NXT's pay-per-view.
Yeah.
That's their pay-per-view, which is
cool. Because again, they have a takeover at all the 4 major pay-per-views. They do NXT TakeOver Chicago. So I actually like the number of takeovers to be expanded.
Looks like we're gonna be pulling double duty and watching both of those shows now more.
Number 14, what'll change the managers / tag teams. Now Vince does have an outdated mindset as far as tag teams and managers, because NXT's tag team division is a lot better than Raw and SmackDown combined because of how they're used, the quality of the matches, and all that. Number 15, what'll probably stay is WWE being the only major player as far as wrestling promotions.
That's not a given. That's not going to change at all.
Yeah. Now, Vince McMahon doesn't really sweat competition a whole lot because he turned WWE into a global empire pretty much. He bought out WCW, bought out ECW. So, and again, the lack of indie promotions really has been tarnished. Now, but Jericho did state that Vince McMahon offered to help Cody Rhodes with his All In event.
Wow.
Because Vince doesn't sweat seeing how much momentum Ring of Honor and New Japan are getting, because WrestleMania weekend they're selling out Madison Square Garden.
Yep.
So
how did that come about, him offering?
I have no idea. It came up on a podcast interview.
Maybe it might have been a way for him to get Cody back.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I like this because the problem with WWE, they got lazy. They didn't have competition.
Yeah.
Maybe now this will put light of fire under their asses and have them doing a little bit more. Because that Monday Night Raw, we had the best years out of WWE during that war.
Yeah.
When WWE has that competition, that makes them do better.
Do you think that is the problem now with professional wrestling? Because there's no competition. Because again, Monday Night Raw and SmackDown don't really have to go up against anything.
That is their problem, I believe, because what's the incentive to try to do better?
Well, because remember a few years ago when Impact was at their height, when they had all the former WWE stars, and plus they had their own talent as well. Impact went head to head with Monday Night Raw just for one weekend, and they beat them. Because they signed Jeff Hardy, Val Venus, and all these other guys. Then they tried to do it full time, and WWE just pretty much destroyed them.
That wasn't working. But also, what I was about to say something. One time, somebody had asked Jim Ross this in an interview. Do you think WWE is complacent or something because of the lack of competition? They have no competition, and they don't have no one to compete with. Jim Ross says that WWE is competing with itself. Bullcrap, Jim. Bullcrap. That was a long time ago, but I always remember that little interview, and I thought that's bullcrap. That's just him, just being loyal to the company.
Yeah. They're
not in competition. They're not in competition with themselves. They don't try to one up themselves. They don't care.
Yeah.
They're complacent, and they just They don't have to try, and that's gonna be a problem for any company. WWE's big. They know that they're always going to be on top, so they're not going to try to do anything. But at the same time, their ratings on Raw are going down.
Yeah.
They are suffering. People do not care about who they have the title on. Vince is all Vince. The buck stops with Vince. Until Triple H gets the reins, that's not changing.
Yeah. Number 16 will probably change, and we mentioned this earlier, forming relationships with other wrestling companies. Now, for Triple H, in an interview with The Sun, he formed alliances with Progress in the UK and ICW, C as in Kabul, W in Scotland. Because the reason I said that is because you think ICW and IZW, CZ, they kind of sound the same.
Oh.
But, I do think forming relationships with other wrestling companies will work out great.
And you never know.
Yeah.
This is it's not a stretch. If Triple H is in charge, we might even see WWE working with TNA.
Even Ring of Honor.
Yes, because those two kind of work together a little bit because you have the new, the Young Bucks taking on LAX, the new LAX.
Mm-hmm.
I guess on Jericho's cruise or whatever.
No. Wait. Is it that? Because
I don't know. Maybe I know
the Bullet Club's on there. Jericho.
Probably not the cruise. I forget where it is.
Briscoes.
Yeah.
So.
And they work with Lucha Underground. They had a promotional thing with wrestling, having people wrestle other folks from Lucha Underground. So I mean, TNA has so.
Numbers,
it's possible.
Yep. Good. Number 17 will probably stay, and I know we are going to probably be upset about this. The PG rating will probably stay.
That's not going to change because the way things are in the world now, you can't. There's certain stuff you can't do.
Now, even though the PG rating has hurt the on-screen product some or a lot, but again, the reality is that it has opened a lot more doors for WWE than ever before.
That's why it's staying.
Because you have new partnerships. Your stocks in the stock market are flying up to new heights, and Triple H has found success in NXT trying to stay between those lines of the PG era.
Oh yeah, because we seen guys bleed. We seen the Gargano and Ciampa stuff brutal as all hell. Yeah. But when you think about it,
we've seen Roman Reigns get bloody at WrestleMania 34.
Yeah, we see him run Braun Strowman
off a stage. And we even saw Roman Reigns crash an ambulance.
I mean, there's that line. See, it's possible to find those lines.
There is that fine line.
During the territory times, I watched segments on YouTube of Jerry Lawler's Memphis days. They were bleeding like stuffed pigs during that time. There was blood everywhere. These guys were doing things like spiking each other in the heads and things, bleeding. And this was on network TV back then.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff you would think would not be on television. Today, who knows? Mm-hmm. But there's a fine line. They had a line that they could not cross. They didn't cross often. They found a way to make it work. Mm-hmm. Triple H is taking a little bit of cues from that, but making it in modern times.
Yeah.
It is doable.
Dude, yeah, it is doable. Number 18, what'll probably change, more tournaments. Because if you think about it, King of the Ring was a top pay-per-view for years.
Yeah.
In the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Now, it's been thrown away.
Wow.
Because remember, King of the Ring launched Stone Cold and Triple H's careers.
Oh yeah.
Now there has been a lot of excitement surrounding the Cruiserweight tournament that happened 2 or 3 years ago.
And they were supposed to be annual, and we haven't gotten another one since.
That one. But, and also, too, with the Mae Young Classic.
This is the second one.
This is the second one. Very excited about it. Number 19, what'll probably stay, Roman Reigns as the top guy.
Damn.
I know. Well, but again, I do think he is the guy. Because no, Triple H is high on Roman Reigns. He told the national newspaper that he is the best that WWE has right now. Because again, I mean,
counting Seth and
Seth, Dean, Miz, Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe. So,
but he is that guy.
Yeah. And last but not least, number 20, what'll probably change, reviving WCW concepts. Hopefully not the Judy Bagwell on a forklift match or the Viagra on a pole match.
What the hell was Vince Russo smoking at that time?
I don't know. Well, because
must have been some good stuff.
Because I think Triple H does realize the importance of WCW
because we got War
ideas.
Games because of that.
Exactly.
Do you think we might get that Triple Cage match back at any point? That the one that they use in Ready to Rumble. Because they actually did do an actual match with that. Diamond Dallas Page.
I doubt they're gonna do that.
Yeah, it might be too dangerous.
I just think War Games is better. Because again, that was very entertaining, especially with all those nine guys.
Yeah.
Because you had Undisputed Era before they added Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
Roderick Strong teamed with AOP. You even had Sanity. Those were two good factions, Undisputed Era and Sanity. Plus, then you had the alliance of Roderick Strong and AOP.
Yeah.
All right, that pretty much wraps up all of the countdowns. Do you got any last venting you want to do?
I could say something about you, but I think I will not say anything at all.
I
will say this.
Any Lady Wolves you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, your girl, Eve Torres.
Well, she did have a second baby, so I am proud of her. Congratulations, Eve.
Yeah. Quit stalking her, man.
I am not stalking her. You're the ones. You're the one stalking Vince.
Be quiet. Where did that come from?
Because for months you have been talking about a match with us, and yet I still don't see it on the card. So I think you're too scared.
I already talked to Vince. It's gonna happen. Just wait.
This guy just keeps talking about it.
You know what? Come on, let's go right now.
Well, go right ahead and do your last minute wolf venting. So.
I'm gonna get you one of these days, man. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. We're gonna get in the ring. We're gonna get in a cage.
Hell in a Cell?
Hey, I'm ready.
Or are we doing the Judy Bagwell in a forklift match?
Oh God, why did you say that? Now you just put that image in my. Oh God.
Well, all right, guys. That pretty much wraps things up for us here. Check out Hell in a Cell this Sunday live on the WWE Network for only
$9.99
a month. Plus, if you sign up now, you get your first 30 days free, which will include Hell in a Cell and the Super Show Showdown.
We just did some free advertising for WWE.
You're welcome.
We want our check, please.
All right, guys. That pretty much wraps things up. Take care, and we will see you next week.
Later.